had been desperately needing a change of pace from romantasy. It was just kind of starting to feel like plugging things into an AI formula. So I came across this book called The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. I think this book has a lot going for it. It's a really excellent example of magical realism, and I hadn't read any magical realism in a long time, so I was genuinely excited by that. I thought that was amazing because it's really an underutilized genre. And it combines that magical realism with historical fiction in a way that I think is really exciting. We have a sprinkling of real people like James Joyce. This book just really captured my imagination and my attention. There's two storylines that are kind of running together, perpendicular, parallel, however you want. I had to change scenery. So when I say I think this book has a lot going for it, I mean it has really some points of excellent writing. This is a book that I would recommend to other people, so I really don't want to go about spoiling the whole book, but I thought that the writing was excellent. I'm always a fan of something that is kind of by a book lover for a book lover, so I think the inclusion of a lot of allusions to Wuthering Heights is really fun for me to read. And this book has a sense of mystery about it. It doesn't beat you over the head with what's happening or what's happened. It leaves some mystique for the reader, and I think that's really amazing because I feel like nowadays most of the books that I've been reading recently are so hit you over the head that they don't leave any room for your own imagination or wondering. This is by an Irish author, and I think you can really tell that she's writing what she knows. This author is also a queen of one-liners, so some of the one-liners that I highlighted are: I was simply to bear witness to my own character assassination by a woman I had just met. Conformity is a death sentence. Grief is a constant companion. Said a woman whose neck was of such girth that she was in danger of being choked by her own pearls, which she now clutched. Of course I would go. I was willing to make believe with him. That line is just so human and just feels like such an important part of girlhood that these characters feel relatable. There's an aspect of this book that is all about diving into people's real lives, what can happen to them, what can be forgotten about them. And you can tell this woman is a book lover, not just because of all the Wuthering Heights comparisons, but I thought that the Count of Monte Cristo plug at the end was... My standout quote from this book is, I was cursed with that most enduring of human desires, to make my mark. So some of the main themes that I would pull from this book: legacy. A really amazing study of legacy in this book, because it is something that kind of everybody wants to achieve, make their mark. What is their contribution to the world going to be? What will history say about them? Will history say anything about them? Don't get me wrong, this is a feel-good book. Like, you're gonna get the warm fuzzies, okay? But it's not every day you find a feel-good book that is also well done. Trigger warnings I would give for this book would be alcohol and substance abuse, and also domestic violence.